I am him. And by him, I mean one of the 4 people that were in the theaters with me that went to go see the movie Him. Guys, I just got done watching the Jordan Peele produced, not directed, the produced movie, Him. Now, if you haven't seen the trailer for it, it is this guy, his name is Cameron Cade, and he's going up in football. He loves football. And this other big football guy, Isaiah White, he's retiring. He's like, I want you, Cameron, to be my successor. But you have to stay a week at my cult camp. Let's just say you have to spend 5 nights at Freddy's, but instead of Freddy's, it's Isaiah White's. So, yeah. And that's the whole thing. A bunch of creepy cult stuff happens. So, guys, produced by Jordan Peele. Yo, I was pretty excited for this one. And guys, listen to this is a message going out to the 4 people that are going to watch this video. Because if like, no one's going to see this. No one is. I don't see it at all. This is a bad movie. This is a really bad movie. This is one of those movies where after it ends and the credits start rolling, I'm just looking at the screen like, okay, you know? And at first, at the very end, let me give you my whole rating. Beginning of the movie, I was at like an 8, to be honest. I was at like an 8. And then it gets to one point at like the halfway point, and then I'm like, nah, it's like a 6. And then the ending happened. And guys, here's my score, spoiler free. This is a 4 out of 10. This is not a good movie. I don't know what Jordan Peele was smoking. You know, I know that hey, respect to him for it. I know that he loves to support, you know, fellow black creators, and I see that here, obviously, but like, that can't be the only thing the only reason you throw $1 billion at this thing to get it produced. I don't know if he read the script. This is a bad movie, guys. Like, I'm half tempted to go down to a 3. This is insane. But yeah, guys, all right, so from here, now that I've given my main point, I'm going to go through the little synopsis that I found and kind of added to. So yeah, like I said, Cameron Cade is a rising quarterback who's basically, he at the very beginning of the movie, Cameron is sitting down watching TV and he sees Isaiah White running on the field, and then Isaiah White like trips, and there's like a big like dog bone, like, you know those like old cartoons where it's like, there's a bone sticking out of me, and it's like just a big ass like cartoony white dog bone. That's what it looks like. It's sticking out of him, and obviously the child, because Cameron's a child at this point, he like turns away. He's like, I don't want to look at that. And then his dad is like, that's what a real man does, boy. I'm making him sound white. He's black, obviously. That's what a real man does, boy. It's the sacrifice. You know, you got to break your leg, make a dog bone come out. That's the sacrifice, bitch. So yeah, and then basically his dad's like, you're going to learn football. And then he learns football. He ends up being really good. And then there's one day where he's out in the middle of his old high school's field. He throws a ball. The ball's doing this weird circle thing. It's spinning like a basketball. And all of a sudden, this guy in a mascot costume comes up to him and smacks him in the head. And he gets a bunch of stitches. And then after that, basically, Isaiah White reaches out to him. He's like, hey, you should train with me so you can be the next Isaiah White for the Saints. The Saints is the football team. And then he's like, yo, dude. So he goes out there, and it's this really creepy area. He rolls up to the compound where the Saints train. And there are these like, these fans of the Saints out there, and they're like these cultists. And then there's this old lady that's like, she's smiling. She's like, you're not the one. You're not the one. And I'm like, yo, where's this going? This is where I'm at, like an 8. You know, the dog bone's a little silly, but I'm like, yo, it's intense. We see a lot of like, man, like if you get tense when you think about like injuries, especially when it comes to sports, dude, this film does a really great job of showing you know, how dangerous football can be. Like there's one part where Cameron like headbutts another guy, and it all of a sudden has this like X-ray Mortal Kombat effect, and it just shows both of their brains just like wow, 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 wow. And I'm like, yo, that looks so cool, and I like that. But anyway, yeah, then he goes into the compound, and basically it's just Isaiah, and he's like putting up like pig skin, like he killed like a deer and some pigs or whatever. And then it's 5 days of different types of training. So there's one day where he has to like pass a ball in 2 seconds. And every time he doesn't do it, there's this like white guy who gets a ball like chucked at his face. But it's like, it's cool because it's part of a cult. So he's like, it's an honor to get beat up for you, Isaiah. And the whole time there's this doctor that's like, I'm putting you this Isaiah's blood. It's very good, yes. He's not German, but every scientist should be German. Just saying. But yeah, so Cameron is getting pumped with Isaiah's blood, and it's messing with his mind. So he's seeing things, and then it all comes down to this point where Isaiah's like, every single goat, if you will, has had the goat blood passed down to other goats, and then the goats have to kill the past goats. And then the new goat takes over as the goat, and then they just get to be successful at football, you know? It's not really clear if this is like an all football thing, like is every football team, is this what they all do? Or is this just Isaiah White? I'm assuming it's just him because they make a point to say like, oh, the Saints have won like 8 Super Bowls, but they can't say Super Bowl, so it's like the big game, you know? So yeah, then Cameron has to kill Isaiah, and then he has this really cringy line where before he's about to kill him, he goes, no guts, no glory. I'm like, bro, shut up, dude. And then at the very end, he walks onto the field, and this is the big shot from the trailer, the big, beautiful white field. He walks out, and there's a bunch of old white dudes in pig masks, and they're sitting there, and they're like, sign the paper, boy, sign the contract. And then there's this picture next to the contract, for some reason, of Cameron when he was a kid, his dad, and one of the old white guys. So then it's revealed that Cameron was never actually good enough. He was groomed into being good enough. So essentially, Cameron's dad like paid him to be there and like made him the goat. So he was never actually good enough. He was forced to be the goat, him, if you will. And then he goes kind of crazy, kills all the old white dudes. A guy blows up for no reason. And then, yeah, that's it. And then he walks out. He does this at there's like a whole bunch of people playing the drums because they're like, you're about to get on the team if you sign the contract. And then he does this. He does, I'm like, okay. And then that's it. That's where the movie ends. There's a lot of like little in-between things, but I'm not going to get into all that stuff. Guys, this was bad. This is really bad. I can't with this. Let me be clear. There are some really, really good moments here. I can see what they're going for. I think if this was a 30-minute short film, it would be a god tier 30-minute short film. Just focus on the cult stuff and just kind of go from there. Beautiful. It would have been beautiful. But because it's so long, it's almost like 2 hours long. It felt longer. There's so much like the film stalls and stalls and stalls. Like, for example, remember the fans that I mentioned earlier? Like he's driving up to the compound and this fan comes up. She's like, oh, you're not the one. She comes back later and just tries to she's just hiding like under the spa, and she tries to hit him with like a piece of coal, and then he just gets up and chokes her, and then she's not actually dead. And then Isaiah comes in and he's like, and then he kisses her, this crazy woman, And then he takes her head and smashes it against the back wall, killing her. And then all these dudes dressed up like footballs walk in, and they're like, no, oh, sweet. Which is really odd, because you'd think that the whole cult is based off of, like, sucking on, Isaiah's schlong. So it seems kind of odd that they would be like, I would think after they killed this lady, they'd be like, oh, who cares? Isaiah's here. But whatever. And yeah, that's it. That's it for the fans. She's dead. They don't show up again. From the trailers, I thought this was going to be like a whole thing. Like, oh, it's this massive cult, and all these people are sick. But no, the only cult is 5 old white guys sitting in chairs that decide who gets into a football team. Incredible. Wow. What a stupid ass ending. Like, it's just a bunch of old white dudes, including the one that his dad knew. And he's like, sign the contract. And they're all wearing like suits and pig skin for some reason. Like, the Saints have this, like, their mascot is like a demon. All their fans dress up as demons, yet for some reason, the old white guys that are in charge of it dress up like pigs. Like, okay. I mean, I get it's probably supposed to be like symbolism, like, the pigs up top. But it's stupid. It's so stupid. And all the lines here, it's just so cringy when he's like, I'm the GOAT. Let's go into some of my specific positives and negatives. Okay, so as I kind of brushed on before, the beginning hour, when I was at that 8 out of 10, great, fantastic, because we're in that mystery. We don't know what's going on. They're showcasing how violent football is. It's being compared like footballers are just the next form of gladiators. People die on the field. And I was feeling that. I was like, oh, that's a really cool way to think about it. That's awesome. I really like that stuff. But seriously, like the whole idea of fans being so obsessed that it's like a cult. Just the whole idea of the cult in general, I think, is really awesome. I really like. That's what I was excited for. And I mean, you really get a sense of anxiety from the physical torture. Like I mentioned before, they smash into each other, brains go wah, wah, wah. There are other parts where he'll get like blood put into him, and then it'll do like a flash where all of a sudden you'll see like his body kind of like expand for a second, go like boom. Like it really shows how much his body's reacting to all these different chemicals and just blood being poured into him. Or every time he's hit, it shows like Mortal Kombat style, like how it affects him. And it's that I love that. Not to mention the sound design with that, like every time they show like a bone cracking, just the snap, ooh, it makes my skin crawl. Now for all of my negatives. Oh, good Lord. Okay. Yeah, gore is decent, but yeah, it's always off screen. The gore is either off screen, they flash it for a millisecond, or it's in X-ray mode, which I know I just said the X-ray mode is good. It's good for a little bit, but they overuse it so much. Every time there's some sort of a fight or someone gets hurt, half of the time you can't even like tell what's happening. Like there's one guy Isaiah like smashes into and he's bleeding everywhere, but he's got a helmet on. Then it goes X-ray mode. I'm like, what am I looking at? And then it's done with the X-ray, but he's still wearing a helmet. So I'm like, I can't see the effect of what he did because you're not showing it. Like I was thinking half the time, I was like, is this PG-13? Because they don't really swear a lot, and there's like no gore at all. Like there is, but there isn't. It's really weird. I mean, overall, I think there was a good idea here. There's a really good idea with the premise of football mixed in with like cults and, this Isaiah person being like this god to people. And he sits in this room watching fans praise him. And it's like the idea there is so cool, but the way that it's done is so shitty. Like it comes off so corny, hokey, and just stupid. I'm sorry. Maybe if I was more into the lingo, maybe if I was calling my buddies goats, yo, we're the goats. Maybe I'd be like, yo, he is the goat. But no, I was just, every time he said like, I'm the goat, I'm the GOAT. They keep saying GOAT. The movie's called Him. They say, I am him. I'm him. They say that like twice. It should have just been called GOAT, but there's that Sony movie coming out called GOAT. So maybe there are troubles in paradise, I guess. Yeah, I got a whole list of negatives. Holy cow. Yeah, it prioritizes art over storytelling. So yeah, like I said, you got these cool ass shots, but they just don't go anywhere. They're just misused so much. There's no point to them, which makes it super unmemorable. It seems like the type of film that is just, it was made for like a quick Oscar nomination or something. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. I could see this film having like a small fan base, but I just don't get it. But all right, my final negative, we're gonna go back to the ending. The ending. So Cameron kills Isaiah. He walks out into the big, beautiful field, and then the old white guys in pig masks are like, sign the contract. This ending is the most Scooby-Doo ass explanation I have ever seen. Now, I like in horror movies or just thrillers, like we saw the long walk the other day. And there's this really cool moment at the end where the last person, I won't spoil it, but the last person just like keeps walking. And you know, after the credits roll, you're thinking like, whoa, what just happened? And, you know, like my friends and I were talking about theories. Whoa, what did that mean? You know, how did it come to that? Did we like the ending? I don't know. And this one, they sit you down like a 5-year-old that just got done watching a Scooby-Doo episode. And literally, one of the white guys is like, don't you see? You weren't meant to, you didn't earn your way here. Your dad knew this white guy, and the white guy got you in here. So it was nepotism that got you here. Like, I already figured that out watching the movie. Like, there's a point where it literally zooms in on the photo of him as a kid, his dad, and this old white guy. And then it zooms in on the old white guy. So I'm like, okay, so they knew each other, and his dad was, like, in on this whole thing, I guess. And then they explain literally that to my face. And I'm like, I'm not an idiot. I get it. Holy cow. And it's just so stupid. And then he goes and he kills all of them, and one of them blows up somehow. And that's it. That's how the movie ends. It ends with a shitty explanation. The cult is underutilized. Turns out it's a bunch of old white dudes. And that's it. That's it. So yeah, guys, this is hot damn. You know what? I changed my score. This is a 3. This is a 3 out of 10 because going over this, guys, I'm looking at my negatives list. It is so long. Every point that I made was me summarizing like 5 different points. Like, this is insane. Don't go see this. Please don't go support this. Jordan Peele, I don't know where his next directorial movie is. I'm excited for that. I mistakenly thought that he had hindsight to see someone that had the same talent as he did, that he does. Clearly, that's not the case. So next time I see produced by Jordan Peele, I'm probably not going to watch it. No, I'll watch it for a review. But like, if it weren't for that, I would not watch it. This is a bad movie. Guys, 3 out of 10. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Did you see it? If so, I'm sorry. But let me know what you thought. Am I dead wrong? I could be dead wrong. I don't know. But guys, I'll be seeing you on the next review. See ya.